Saying that Cyberpunk 2077 got off to a rough start is an understatement. Many people were extremely critical of the game for its unstable launch, a game that was littered with bugs and one that many fans claimed did not live up to its promises. Since then, CD Projekt Red has been working to make sure the game is as stable as possible, with wave after wave of updates. And as I've been playing the game recently on PC, I can say the game is fairly stable. At most, I've encountered a couple of cosmetic bugs, but nothing that would actually break the game or really take me out of immersion. And if you're one of the faithful for this game, you're going to want to hit the subscribe button. And if you're already subscribed, you're probably shocked that I'm doing a video on Cyberpunk 2077. And it's not going to end here, so I hope you look forward to it. Today, CD Projekt Red had their investor report, and with it they announced a ton of brand new games. Going through their product strategy, first they talked about Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, a major story-driven expansion to Cyberpunk 2077. Then they talked about Project Sirius, said to be an innovative take on the Witcher universe, telling an unforgettable story for existing Witcher fans and new audiences. Currently, this project is in pre-production, so don't expect to see it anytime soon. It's also not being developed by CD Projekt Red internally, but instead it's being developed by the Molasses Flood, and currently there's around 60 people involved. Next, there's Project Polaris, a story-driven open-world RPG built on the legacy of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. This game is currently in pre-production and is the beginning of a brand new Witcher trilogy. It's being developed by CD Projekt Red with currently 150 people involved. And what's even more exciting is that all three of the games aim to be delivered within a 6-year period following the release of Polaris, which if you think about it is going to be really insane that they're going to release those games in a 6-year period. I can only imagine this new trilogy performing really well with how good The Witcher 3 did. But things don't end there. The next is Project Canis Majoris. This is a new story-driven single-player open-world RPG set within the Witcher universe, contracted to be developed by a third-party studio led by ex-Witcher veterans. As you can see, they are going super hard on Witcher spin-offs. They're also working on a new third IP, and forgive me if I mispronounce this, Project Hadar. This new standalone IP is said to be distinct from both The Witcher and Cyberpunk 2077. It's going to be developed 100% internally, with them saying that this IP has been in incubation since late 2021, and is currently in conceptual phase by a small strike team. And as promised in the name of this video, Cyberpunk 2077 is receiving a sequel, currently titled Project Orion. This is a Cyberpunk 2077 sequel that will prove the full power and potential of the Cyberpunk universe, and is being developed by the CD Projekt Red team. So I'm going to be completely honest about how I got into Cyberpunk and why I've been so obsessed with it lately. Yes, it's true, I am an Edgerunners refugee. When the game was first announced and everyone was super hyped for it, I pretty much ignored it. While I really love the Cyberpunk genre, the game itself wasn't my normal wheelhouse, especially when I found out that it was locked in the first person. So a lot of the hype initially went over my head. That and initially this channel was so JRPG focused that I really didn't have time for anything else. But shamelessly enough, after watching Edgerunners and getting hooked into the stories of David, Lucy, Rebecca, and the others, I had no other choice but to get revenge on Adam Smasher. So I decided to cave. I got the game on PC. Avoiding most of the insane hype cycle for the game, I really didn't know what was promised originally, which aspects didn't make it into the final game, or which aspects that fans were let down by. And going into the game completely blind, I kind of fell in love with it actually. Now don't get me wrong, I completely understand why someone who is there day one would be upset with the game. The currently smooth presentation of the game allows it to be extremely immersive. This smooth presentation certainly did not exist when people were T-posing on motorcycles. And given this game's launch and the memes around it, the fact that I'm even describing this game as having a smooth presentation says a lot, doesn't it? So for those of you who have watched Edgerunners and now you're curious about actually playing the game, I do highly recommend it. And if you want to watch me play the game, you totally can by heading over to twitch.tv/thenightskyprince, where currently I've been really enjoying it. And at this point, I can honestly say I'm a Cyberpunk fan, Choom. Shout out to Patron Legions Gaming and the rest of the Ultima community.